الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا اللهم بما علمتنا وزدنا اللهم علما وعملا إنك ولي ذلك والقادر عليه. أما بعد، نواصل درسنا في شرح بلوغ المرام للحافظ ابن حجر رحمه الله، وغفر الله لنا وله ولسائر المسلمين آمين. وكنا في باب أو وقفنا عند باب الحث على الخشوع في الصلاة في كتاب الصلاة. So today, inshallah, we're going to continue in the chapter of prayer, or the book of prayer, in the chapter of khushu'. Khushu' in the prayer. And khushu' means عرفه العلماء خاصة الشيخ ابن عثيمين رحمه الله هو حضور القلب وطمأنينته حيث لا يفكر ولا يلتفت لشيء لا يتعلق بالصلاة. Al-Khushoo is that the person's heart is present. He's concentrating. He's present in the prayer. He's not absent-minded. And he is at ease in his heart first. Al-Khushoo أصله في القلب. ثم يظهر أثر هذا أو ذلك الخشوع القلبي على الأطراف، على الجوارح، بحيث تخشع الجوارح ولا تتحرك الأطراف إلا فيما فيه مصلحة الصلاة. So then this presence of heart in the prayer and concentration will then have an effect on the limbs. And the limbs will likewise be present in the prayer, meaning they will only be doing actions of the prayer. So his heart is present, he's not thinking about anything outside the prayer, from dunya matters, and his limbs are present where he's not doing actions except actions of the prayer. Except actions of the prayer. So he's not playing with his beard or playing with his pen or playing with his shema or kufi or this. We said before, if a person does that, كثير الحركة المتتالية تبطل الصلاة. مما تبطل الصلاة من شروط صحة الصلاة عدم الحركات المتتالية. أما الحركات اليسيرة فهي الصلاة تنقص أجره بقدر هذه الحركات ولكنها لا تبطل الصلاة. We said last time about the things that would be from the conditions of the prayer is not to move too much. Okay, if a person moves all the time, all the time he's moving, looking is something else, but moving, touching his hair, fixing his shirt, fixing his shema, if it's continuous, then that would take him out of the prayer. حيث لو تنظر إليه لا تظن أنه مصلي، تظن أنه خارج الصلاة. So much so that if you look at this person, you don't think he's praying. He must be doing something else. He can't be praying. Praying person has to have khushu'. خشوع عبارة عن أن يضع اليمنى على اليسرى وينظر إلى مكان سجوده ويطأطأ رأسه. This is the actions that a person should be in the qiyam that shows that he has khushu'. His right hand on his left, he's looking at the place of sujood, and his head is down. And that's it. But if there's some necessity, of course, a person has to scratch this or scratch that for need. We said it's a need. There's a reason for it. So this is it. The khushu' هو أصله في القلب ولكن أثره في الجوارح. It's originally in the heart, but it has also لأن الظواهر عنوان البواطن. There's a principle also. Whatever's on the outside is an indication of what's on the inside, generally. And what's on the inside affects what's on the outside. هناك تلازم بين الظاهر والباطن. The scholars say there's a connection inseparable. The true outside is an indication of what's on the inside, meaning what a person is regularly, not like munafiqun, يعني نسأل الله السلامة. The munafiqun there, they pretend on the outside, ها يقولون بأفواههم ما ليس في قلوبهم. They pretend on the outside that's what's not on the inside, but they slip, right? Allah said, "You will show us their reality." So they cannot be consistent. You see the signs, certain signs. وإذا قاموا إلى الصلاة قاموا كسالى يراؤون الناس. That when they pray lazy. They don't only want to be seen. وإذا حدث كذب وإذا تؤمن خان وإذا وعد أخلف وإذا خاصم فجر. Also from the attributes of hypocrisy is that when he speaks, he lies. Okay? These are actions, right? They indicate some problem inside, weakness of faith, or so they're connected. The point is, lying is a sign of weakness, not keeping your promise, not being trustworthy. They go together, right? So that's the point, that the khushu' is connection inward and outward. That's what. Now, is it sunnah or is it wajib? We'll come to that. What this matter of khushu', inshallah. The Shaykh will come to that. طيب. ومن الخشوع أن يفكر في معنى ما يقرأ وما يقول من الأذكار والأدعية وقراءة القرآن. And from the khushu', and what helps the khushu' is that a person should think, ponder what he's reciting from the Quran, what he's listening from the Imam, the ayat, the adhkar, tasbih, takbir, dua, pondering, thinking the meaning. That's what hudur al-qalb, that his heart is present. لذلك يقول الله عز وجل كتاب أنزلناه إليك مبارك ليدبروا آياتي. التدبر من مقاصد القرآن تدبر آياتي. This is what Allah said. This is a book that Allah sent upon you, which is blessed. Why? So that they would ponder upon the ayat, think about the meaning. It's not just for beautifying the voice. It's more than, it's much more. The meaning. The meaning. So, person more he ponders, the more his have khushu'. That's how. لما يقرأ في الفاتحة مالك يوم الدين يستحضر يوم القيامة الذي يزول فيه كل ملك إلا ملك الله عز وجل. He should ponder when he says مالك يوم الدين, he should think, oh, this is the day of judgment. Allah is telling me that's the day when all the kingdom is for Allah. Al-mulku yawma idhin lillah. The kingdom is for Allah, meaning there's no king on that day. There's no ruler, there's no governor, there's no rich, there's no poor. They're all, the kingdom is for Allah. And no one can benefit. This reminds us also, no one can benefit us and reward us except Al-Malik. Maliki Yawmiddin. Al-Malik al-Hisab. Malik al-Jaza. Malik al-Iqab. Allah is the one who controls the reward and punishment. Because reward and punishment on the day of judgment. So we should not think that anyone can come on that day and give us reward. So therefore it reminds us, we make our ibadah khalisa lillah. Nukhlis al-niyah. This will remind us that when we do the action, we're only doing for Allah. Because the people cannot help us. Only Allah will reward us or punish us. So we're not concerned what the people, they think, we'll try to get, praise from them. It doesn't help us, right? From fuqara. Wallahu al-ghani. Allah is the rich, and He's the one who gives. And everyone else is poor, just like me. So why worry about what they like or don't like? Also, to that effect, when we think about these things, we say, remember the hadith that من أرضى الله بسخط الناس رضي الله عنه وأرضى عنه الناس ومن أرضى الناس بسخط الله سخط الله عليه وأسخط عليه الناس. ف يعني يقال رضا الناس غاية لا تدرك ورضا الله غاية لا تترك. The scholars, they say that you should think, when it comes to the people, of course we all, nasiha, we all work together, we all advise one another, we're brothers. But at the same time, when it comes to trying to please people, you can't please people at the expense of your religion. Meaning, the hadith says, whoever tries to please the people, make them like me, I want everyone to like me, but this thing I'm doing makes Allah angry, then Allah will be angry with me, and He'll make the people angry with me, because they'll see that I'm fake, you know, I'm just trying to get image, trying to get praise. I'm worried about my image, about my status or my fame. Most people, they don't respect that. Also, Allah controls the hearts. Although I'm trying to get people to like me, in the end, Allah will make them not like me. That's what it means. I mean, the good people will not like me, and people will not respect me. So that's what it means. But if I do the opposite, if I make the people angry with me by doing something Allah loves, then Allah will love me and be pleased with me, and He'll make the people pleased with me, because He can control these things. That's what we understand. Malik al-Qulub, يصرف القلوب أو يعطف القلوب عني كل شيء بيد الله. Allah can make the hearts turn to me, or He can make the hearts of the people turn away from me. It's in His control. So I might focus only, please Allah. Please Allah, if this action I'm doing, is Allah pleased with it, He likes this, do it. No matter if all the community, all the people say, no, don't do that. It's okay. Don't worry about them. Because Allah is the one who my focus is. So, Maliki Yawmiddin. So the person ponders when he reads the point. I went off topic, but the point, when a person reciting these ayat, he should have this consciousness. And the more he has consciousness, awareness in the prayer, the more he'll get reward in the prayer. And the more أثر يكون له تأثير للقلب وحاله سيتغير. يدخل في الصلاة على عيوب، على نقائص، على يعني خلل، ثم يخرج من الصلاة بهذه الخشوع وهو متغير الحال. يعني الخشوع هذا يؤثر. الصلاة has effect. Like it has to be with the khushu'. A person, when he prays with this khushu', then before the prayer he's deficient, he's dirty, he's with sins, and he's person is carrying all kinds of baggage. And then after the prayer, the more he has khushu', he comes out better, no doubt, because he has these effects. The prayer is meant to cleanse us, as in the hadith. The person, what means that what do you think if you had a river in front of your house, that a person could bathe in it 5 times a day? Would he have any dirt left on him? No, we had no dirt left on him. This is the prayer. Prayer cleanses us and makes us clean by the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal. So the Shaykh said then, إذا رأينا شخصا يبعث بقلمه أو لحيته أو ساعته أو غترته أو ما أشبه ذلك، هل نستدل بهذا على أن قلبه غافل؟ الجواب نعم. Shaykh said, this is the question then. If we see a person playing with his pen, playing with his ghutra, playing with his clothes, playing with his beard in the prayer, does this mean his heart is absent? The answer is yes. Because the outside indicates what's on the inside. وقال لأن هذه الحركة لا بد أن تصدر عن إرادة والإرادة محلها القلب. The Shaykh said these actions that a person does, either he's still in the prayer like he's supposed to be, or he's moving, these actions are as a result of intention. He wanted to do this. Either he wanted to stay at peace and stay, uh, you know, uh, immobile, or he wanted to move. Either one. If he wanted to move, this came from the heart. So it's a sign of that's in the heart, wanted, and then he moved. So you cannot separate the two. طيب. Then هذا في المقدمة الشيخ ابن عثيمين رحمه الله السلام قال في مسألة هل الخشوع واجب أو سنة. الشيخ قال في مكان آخر أنا سمعته يقول أن على الصحيح أن الخشوع واجب على قدر المستطاع. The Sheikh said, I listened to his audio, he said that the khushu' and having the heart present and concentrating and aware is wajib according to one's ability, as much as one's able. Because all of us, the shaitan comes to us, يوسوس ويخرجنا من الصلاة ويعني يتشرد الذهن. We start to think about this and that. This is natural. I mean, this happens to everyone. But a person, what is it? What is the obligation? And يجاهد نفسه وأن يعني يدافع عن هذه الوسواس ولا يسترسل ويعالج نفسه دائما. The Sheikh said a person has to always struggle. Okay, he doesn't give up. He doesn't say when the thought comes to him, he just goes with it, and thinks about his work, thinks about his school, thinks about his food, thinks about, whatever. Then if he goes along with these thoughts, then هذا نقص في الصلاة. This is deficiency in the prayer. His prayer is not as it should be, meaning he's done something wrong. Okay? But if a person fights it and keeps coming back and keeps coming back, then he's done his wajib. That's what we have to do. This is the meaning of Al-Khushoo, wajib. دليله ما جاء عند أبي داود من حديث عمار بن ياسر رضي الله عنهما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الرجل لينصرف وما كتب له إلا أشر صلاته تسعه ثمنه سبعه سدسه خمسه ربعه ثلثه نصفها وربعها ثلثها نصفها. حسنه الشيخ الألباني رحمه الله. That the proof for this is the hadith. The Prophet ﷺ said, indeed a person or a man, meaning a man or woman, would leave his prayer, finish his prayer, and there is not written for him except 1/10 of the prayer, or 1/9, or 1/8, or 1/7, or 1/6, or 1/5, or 1/4, or and so on, 1/3, or half. And that's where the hadith ends. Meaning, many people are in this condition. Nasallallahu salama, that there's so much they're thinking about. This doesn't mean that their actions. This means the heart, the connection. حضور القلب. ما كان على الوجه المطلوب means his heart is not there, so his reward is decreased according to how much he, gets distracted. So the more a person gets distracted, he gets less, maybe 1/10, 1 out of 10, or 1 out of 9, and so on. وفي حديث آخر قال صلى الله عليه وسلم ليس للعبد من صلاته إلا ما أقل منها. That the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said there is not for the servant from his prayer except that which he understood. I mean, his mind, his heart was present. That's all he gets. Whatever he pondered and thought about, and meaning he was in the prayer, he was not distracted, not thinking about dunya things, as much as his reward in the prayer. Clear. So this is why Sheikh said the more correct opinion is wajib to have khushu'. فينقص من ثواب الصلاة بقدر ما نقص من الخشوع. So it decreases from him the reward in the prayer according to how much he has a deficiency in khushu'. وقال الشيخ أيضا أن الخشوع لب الصلاة روح الصلاة فالصلاة بدون خشوع كالقشور. The khushu is the essence of the prayer. It's the spirit of the prayer. It's not something just motions, you know. It's not an exercise. Some people اتخذوا الصلاة عادة. يكبر عادة. يركع عادة. يقرأ عادة. يعني ثم قد لا يحس بنفسه إلا وقد سلم. لا يحس. هي عادة، يعني يمشي كما يمشي في الطريق، يصلي كما يمشي في الطريق. المشي عادة، ما يتفكر فيه هذه الحركات. كذلك في الصلاة عادة، ما يتفكر. هذا ليس، لا يتأثر بهذه الصلاة ولا يستفيد من هذه الصلاة. So a person who takes a prayer like a routine, just like a person, he brushes his teeth. He's not thinking, he's just brushing, right? His mind is somewhere else. It's fine, no problem. You're just brushing your teeth. But if that's the way that a person is going to pray, same way, then there's a problem. Because prayer is different. Prayer, we have to be concentrating. So a person, if he is in this routine, he won't get the benefit of the prayer. ومن فوائد الصلاة إن الصلاة تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر. These are benefits of the prayer. Which prayer? The prayer is routine prayer. Just because my father came to the masjid, I came to the masjid, and this is our routine. Every day we do this and so on, and we just pray and we leave. And it's just like we go to the supermarket, we go down the aisles, buy this, buy that, go for a walk. Then it's no benefit. No, not that prayer. The prayer that we are present in, that prayer, Allah said, tanha. It forbids al-fahsha'i wal-munkar. It forbids us from evil speech and actions. Meaning a person is, after doing the prayer, yuwaffaq li-tawbah. Because every person makes sins. It doesn't mean a person cannot make sins. كل ابن آدم خطاء وخير الخطائين التوابون. لكن الصلاة تنهى، أي يجعله ينيب ويرجع ويستدرك ما فات. That a person, when he prays in this way, he feels, he's reminded, he's thinking about Allah, thinking about the akhirah, thinking about the Quran, thinking about judgment. Then automatically he's going to make tawbah. And this way. And so he's going to keep coming back. It's a struggle. It's a continuous struggle. يقول الشيخ هو في إراق معها مع نفسه. That a person is in a continuous struggle with his soul. Because this is the test, this is the life, it's a struggle. It's not meant to be easy. يعني as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, ألف لام ميم أحسب الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون. As Allah said, did the people think that they would be left to say, we believe, and they would not be tested? It's a test. Shaitan is testing us. Allah is testing us through shaitan. Okay, whispering, making us think about, other things outside the prayer. We're supposed to go through this test. There's no escape. But the more we struggle, the more we fight, then the more, inshallah, we get better every day. طيب ثم نأخذ أول حديث في الباب، وهو حديث 28 بعد 200 عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال نهى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أن يصلي الرجل مختصرا متفق عليه واللفظ لمسلم ومعناه، يقول الإمام ابن حجر رحمه الله، أن يجعل يده على خاصرته. وفي البخاري عن عائشة رضي الله عنها أن قالت أن ذلك فعل اليهود في صلاتهم. So the first hadith, or first two hadith, are related to the prohibition. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbade, naha يعني أنه طلب ترك. He told us to leave. Leave what? To leave that a man should not pray with his hands on his waist, or one hand on his waist. Khasira, the waist. Okay? You should not pray like this, with both hands or one hand on the waist. He's not allowed. والأصل في النهي للتحريم. The origin when we hear don't do this, it means it's haram. It's haram. And Al-Bukhari reported from Aisha radiallahu anha that this is this is hadith of one. And the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam قال أن ذلك فعل اليهود في صلاتهم. That this is the action of the Jews in the prayer. This is how the Jews used to pray. Their hands on their hip or one hand on the hip. So the question is السؤال يعني ماذا مناسبة هذا الحديث للباب؟ ما وجه الشاهد من إدخال هذا الحديث في باب الخشوع؟ The question is naturally سؤال يعني يفرض نفسه. The question naturally arises, why did the Imam Ibn Hajar put this hadith in the chapter of khushu'? That a person should not pray with his hand on his hip. يقال إن هذا منافي للخشوع. هذه علامة من علامات الغفلة. A person standing like this is a standing of absent-mindedness, a standing of a position of lack of being negligent and not paying attention. This is the position, like we said, the position that a person is in has an effect on his heart. They're gonna have a connection. So as we're ordered to stand with the hands on the chest, okay, and looking down and so on, this naturally we've been ordered to do this in the Sunnah, because this position will create in us khushu'. This position of the Sunnah will make us to have khushu' and our heart to be present. So they're not just void of any benefit. When we do these actions in the prayer, look at the place of sujood, look down, put our hands on our chest, this will inspire us to have khushu'. And other than that, like the Jews, they prayed, that will take us out of khushu'. That's the reason why the author brought this hadith in the chapter. فيقول هذا أحد الشراح يقول يدل على أن للاختصار أثر في تقليل الخشوع ولا يناسب حال الصلاة إطلاقا. That this position will take away from a person's khushu'. بل هو من فعل اليهود ففعله مصادم تماما للخشوع ولا يليق بالصلاة واللائق بالصلاة. والدليل على الخشوع خشوع الجوارح هو أن يضع يديه على صدره ويرمي ببصره إلى موضع سجوده ويطأطأ رأسه. فهذا الظاهر عنوان الباطن فلا يمكن خشوع القلب مع الاختصار. So that's basically what I said, that a person, when he prays according to Sunnah, this will cause him to have khushu' in his limbs, and that will be an indication and assist him to have khushu' in his heart. In his heart. Any questions to this point? So we said the khushu' is obligatory on the correct opinion, and it's what aids us to have khushu' is praying and looking at the place of sujood and putting our hands on our chest, not on our waist. This will take us out of khushu', as in the hadith. And any questions so far? لكن لا يفهم أن الخشوع شرط لصحة الصلاة، بحيث إذا أخل الإنسان بالخشوع تبطل صلاته. لا يقال هذا، بل ينقص أجره على قدر إخلاله بالخشوع. It doesn't mean that a person, his prayer is not accepted. يعني تبرأ به ذمته. That a person is, if he prays and his heart is absent-minded the whole prayer. Okay, he doesn't get benefit from the prayer. He loses reward, and he may be sinful for that prayer, but it still counts for him. There's levels of wrong. There's things that a person may do wrong, haram, or sinful, but the prayer still counts for him. It's not like a person prayed without wudu. Person prays without wudu, there's no prayer. It didn't count. He has to repeat. A person prays absent-minded, we shouldn't think he has to repeat his prayer, but rather his prayer is deficient. His prayer is deficient, and it counts. He doesn't have to repeat that prayer. Some other benefits the Shaykh mentioned that قال في المقدمة لو قال قائل يذكر عن عمر رضي الله عنه أنه قال إن كنت أجهز جيشي وأنا في الصلاة يعني في ذهنه فهل نقول إن أمير المؤمنين عمر رضي الله عنه ليس من الخاشعين في الصلاة حاشا لأننا قلنا الخشوع طمأنينة القلب وسكون الجوارح وحضور القلب. So the question is, Umar radiallahu anh, it's reported from him that he said, when I would pray, I used to prepare my army for the battle, thinking about the war planning in the prayer. Is someone can we say that Umar was not having khushu' in the prayer? Of course not. Umar radiallahu anh, min afdal al-nas, thani khulafa al-rashidin. He's the best from the best of the people. He prayed with khushu', and he's telling about this action to inform to the people that this is a specific case. لأنه في الجهاد في ساحة القتال وهذه حالة خوف ويجوز في حالة خوف ما لا يجوز في غيره. Why? Because this is on the battlefield. Okay, battlefield, as we probably mentioned or came across, you can pray in different ways, right? You're can be attacked by the army at any turn. So there's even movements that we can do that normally we're not allowed to do, right? The way of the Salat al-Khawf is if a person prayed that way, okay, in his locale outside of war, it wouldn't count. So specific rules for prayer. And so likewise, a person wants to plan and be prepared for the enemy in his mind. That's just specific. That doesn't relate to our condition outside of war. Our condition is our heart is on present. There should be no distraction. That's understood. Because there's actions. For example, إذا يعني هناك حركات من غير جنس الصلاة في حال الخوف وهي جائزة حيث يجوز أن يفر ويجوز أن يمشي ويصلي يجوز أن يعني للإمام أن يقسم الجيش إلى قسمين قسم يصلي معه ركعة فإذا قام الإمام إلى الثانية كمل بقية الصلاة ثم انصرف. So the Salat al-Khawf is totally different than regular prayer, right? This is where in the Salat al-Khawf, that when the Imam stands up, he makes two groups. One of the ways of Salat al-Khawf, you make two groups of his army, of his soldiers. One group prays with him, the first rak'ah, okay? And then when the Imam comes up for the second rak'ah, okay, this group behind him, they go ahead and finish their prayer. They finish their prayer. And they go away. And then while the Imam is still there standing, right? He just prayed one rak'ah. He's still standing. Then the second group of the army, they come behind the Imam and they pray with him. The second rak'ah. So far the Imam now has prayed two. And the second group, they just prayed one. Right? They only prayed the second rak'ah with the Imam. فإذا جلس للتشهد, when the Imam sits for tashahhud, كملت قبل أن يسلم. So then, while the Imam then sits for tashahhud, before he makes taslim, he's prayed two rak'ah, right? He's at the end, but he hasn't made taslim yet. This group that's praying, they only made one rak'ah. While he's sitting in tashahhud, they stand up and they pray their second rak'ah, and then they join him in tashahhud. They catch up with him while he's waiting for them, and they make taslim altogether. They make taslim altogether. So this is one way that the Shaykh is mentioning. The point is that these actions are foreign to our prayer. So likewise, the thoughts can be foreign and different from our prayer in lack of battle. فالخوف يغتفر فيه ما لا يغتفر في غيره. This is the principle. In a condition of fear, things that are forgiven and allowed, that which are not allowed outside of fear. أيضا يقول الشيخ هل مثل ذلك أن يفكر الإنسان في مسألة علمية أشكلت عليه وتستوجب التعجل فيها. Also a person, he's a judge or something, he's a sheikh or something, he's thinking of some urgent matter that requires a ruling. These are exceptions the sheikh has mentioned, these are exceptions that a person, for example, there's a judgment that necessitates killing, حد القتل، ويتفكر فيه أثناء الصلاة، وهذا لا يعني يؤجل، لابد من تعجيل هذا الحكم فورا، فيفكر في هذا في الحكم أثناء الصلاة. فهذا يقول الشيخ جائز، لأن العلم له حكم الجهاد. طالب العلم مجاهد، والعلم نوع من الجهاد في سبيل الله. وهذا الحكم لا يمكن يؤخره، هو يعني لابد يقضي على الفور. So a person, these are exceptions. A judge, he has to make a judgment, and certain very important matter, he has to make the judgment soon, so he can think about that in that case. But this is not the general rule. Okay, any questions? طيب، إذا قال الشيخ عموما إذا ورد نهي. We talked about prohibitions when the hadith says this is not allowed, don't do that. قد يكون النهي للتحريم وقد يكون للكراهة. Sometimes the prohibition is not for, or the saying don't do this is not for prohibition, meaning you have to. Sometimes it could be karaha, it's makruh, meaning a person can do it and he's not sinful. Okay? He's not sinful. It's not something he must leave. If it's haram, he has to leave it. If it's makruh, he doesn't have to. This is according to the hukum, right? This is how we think after the Shaykh said after we do it. Originally, before, when we come to a ruling that says don't do that, الصحابة ما كانوا يقولون هل هذا للتحريم أو للكراهة. هم سارعوا إلى الامتثال وتركوه. ما سألوا هل هذا يجب أن أتركه أو يعني الأفضل أن أتركه. لا، لأن النهي يقتضي الامتثال، لأن الله يقول عنهم أن يقولوا سمعنا وأطعنا. المؤمن يقول سمعت وأطعت، يعني يقول المؤمنون يقولون سمعنا وأطعنا. فليس من الأدب، يقول الشيخ ليس من الأدب إذا قال الله في الكتاب لا تفعلوا كذا، أن يقول هل هذا للتأديب أو هذا للإلزام أو للمنع. هذا ليس من الأدب. لو أنا قلت لولدي لا تفعل كذا وجاوبني يا أبي هل هذا للمنع أو للتأديب، يؤد هذا من سوء الأدب، هذا لا غير مقبول، بل يعاقب على هذا القول. So the Sheikh said, like, for example, think of it if you tell your child, don't do that. Or you say to him, don't open the door. Don't open the door. And then he says back, would it be for manners if he says, oh, father, is this a prohibition, or you're trying to just teach me, or you know, it's just like, you're just giving me advice, or do I really have to? This would be bad manners. This would be considered bad manners, and this child should be punished, and should be given given a lesson for not responding like that. Okay, so likewise, when we deal with the orders of Allah and the Messenger, then we shouldn't ask like that. We should just, say, okay, Allah forbade, I won't do it. And it's not for manners to say, is it really, is it really? Okay, so, but the scholars do make why do the scholars make the degradation? If this is wajib, this is mustahab, this is mubah, this is haram, makruh. Why? Because if a person happens to do that now, then he should know what he's done, right? If you happen to fall into that mistake, ما في من يعني غلبة الشهوة أو لوسوسة أو للجهل, a person falls into the mistake, okay, and it's something is prohibited, then he should know how he should fix his mistake. That's the point. If it's haram, it's different. He has to make tawbah, right? He has to feel bad. It's haram. But if it's makruh, it's not to that level. Mistake. That's the point. It's not like it's not the same, but it's tawbah. You said it in tawbah. If it's haram, if it's makruh, it's not the same level. So that's when after he falls into the mistake. Okay. طيب لعلنا نكتفي بهذا القدر. في كفاية والله تعالى أعلى وأعلم. ونواصل إن شاء الله إن كان في الأمور بقية في هذا الباب. ووفق الله الجميع لما يحبه ويرضى. اللهم اغفر لنا ولوالدينا وللمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. جزاكم الله خير. Thank you.